Welcome back to the show, everybody. I know it's been a while, hasn't it? Where have we been?
It's been a while. It's 2022. It's a whole different year than last time.
That's true. We told you we were going to bring you a whole lot of information that we're not actually bringing you because we decided to do other things for a little while.
Yep. You're not going to believe this, but we're making this up as we go.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody where you've been for like the past week?
I had a very magical vacation at beautiful Orlando, Florida. Disney World.
Disney World. Oh,
yeah.
man.
It's my first trip to Disney. I've never been there. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. It's been a long time, but I'm glad you got to go. How was it?
It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. Very magical. You know, they call it the most magical place on earth. It just might be.
I've heard that. Did you get to see the Minnie Mouse with the pantsuit that's making everybody mad?
The one that's for Women's History Month that's exclusively in
Paris, France for the 50-year reunion?
Yeah. Yeah. I was furious.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. That's a good reason to be furious.
So I know you did all the Star Wars stuff. If you had to pick one thing, what would you say was your absolute favorite Star Wars experience?
Rise of the Resistance.
For sure.
The ride, Rise of the Resistance, is incredible. It's a 20-minute long ride. The way they make the line part of the experience, it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really well done ride. Smuggler's Run is also fun. It's more of just like a flight simulator sitting in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, which is amazing.
Yeah, who doesn't want to sit in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon?
The Rise of the Resistance has a lot more practical effects. There's animatronics. There's all kinds of stuff. You're up in space. It's a great time.
And the way you were talking about, they integrate like the whole storyline with the waiting process.
Yeah.
That's nice. So you're not just like bored AF hanging out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes it a lot. Same thing with like some of the Harry Potter stuff at Universal Studios. It's not that bad, like standing in line when the line goes through Hogwarts. You know? Like,
where there's constantly cool stuff to look at all around you.
Like, well, I'm okay hanging out in here for a minute. You know, this is neat. It was very fun. It was a good time. The Monday and Tuesday we did Hollywood Studios and Universal, and we did both of those days. It was, smooth moving. Like,
so you did Universal and Disney.
Yeah, first day was all Hollywood Studios at Disney. The second day we did Universal and Islands of Adventure, both Universal parks. You can get back and forth pretty quick. But we did both of those on the first 2 days, and there were like no lines. It was really nice. Definitely picked up. The crowds picked up.
Huh? That's nice.
Crowds picked up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It was a lot more, you had to do some more waiting. But by that point, we'd already kind of been to the parks.
Yeah, so you knew where you were going a little bit also?
Yeah, and you come back, we pick, catch the things we missed.
So Universal over Disney World, if you could only pick one.
It's a tough call. Because honestly, like I love the Star Wars experience, the whole Galaxy's Edge, going to Dark Spire or Black Spire Outpost. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool, but it's relatively small. It's just one little section of the park. You have a couple restaurants. You have a couple of stores. There's a really cool kind of outdoor bazaar where you can shop and, everything's themed. We went into the cantina. We had to make a reservation 2 months in advance to get standing room at the bar, where we had the privilege of buying a $20 cocktail.
Disney wants all of your money.
They do. We
did not good at taking it.
We did not make lightsabers or droids.
You can make your own droid? I didn't know that.
There's a whole droid factory.
Thing.
Yeah, well, they didn't have the droid we wanted. They're cool, but they're 24-inch tall plastic.
Are you sure
droids.
Someone didn't just trick you with the Force right there and saying that these are not
droids?
the droids you're looking for?
No, they would do it the opposite. They're like, this is the droid you're looking for.
That's true. It's Disney. They want all of your money. Yeah.
Lightsabers.
Maybe someone from Universal snuck in.
Maybe they could have. I would believe it. Universal's fun. Like, I don't know. I think maybe some of the Harry Potter areas, because they have two. There's one in each park. You have in Universal Studios, you have the Diagon Alley and the Gringotts ride and all that, and then Nocturne Alley. And then in the other park, Islands of Adventure, that's where they have Hogsmeade and the Hogwarts Castle.
So it's separated throughout the park. It's not just one big segmented section.
And you take the train. That's
pretty cool.
Harry Potter and the train to school.
So you get to walk through the wall thing.
Yeah, it was it was broken.
Of course.
The train was down both days, so we had to walk all the way back out of the park and into the other one and go the long way. So we didn't get to do that. I was looking forward to doing the train.
That's all right, though, man. It sounds like you had a really good time.
It was
nice
great.
Time off. Had to not think about work, not think about the strains and stresses of all the work that goes with this podcast and all the work we put behind the scenes.
So much.
All the people we keep employed here.
The rehearsals alone,
yeah,
they're neck breaking.
It must have been nice to just not have to think about any of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So what are some of the things we're going to talk about in today's episode?
Oh, today we got some Marvel news. We got some Star Wars news. We got some DC news. We have some news.
News.
Probably.
Some more news.
Maybe. That's a good show.
I know. I've heard about it. Actually, I watch it. I'm not going to lie.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Any YouTube show that has spawned from the remains of crack.com.
Yeah, I learned about it from
pretty much
Behind
all
the Bastards. Good. So Robert Evans introduced me to Cody in that way.
Cody Johnson.
Shout out.
And you know what? Shout out to everyone who worked at Cracked.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of you.
Quality stuff.
Yeah.
So that being said, music.
Start. All right, and we're back once again.
Welcome again.
Unsolicited conjecture.
Yeah. We're talking Marvel news.
Marvel news.
What do you want to talk about first? We're going to talk about Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Man, that trailer, I hadn't seen it until he just made me watch it so we could talk about it right now. And that new trailer that dropped apparently 12 days ago from when I'm watching this is sick.
It is very sick. It looks really cool. Moon Knight looks great. The costume's awesome. I love how they incorporated like the mummy kind of bandages.
Yeah, I like that one scene too.
Yeah, for anybody who's not super familiar with Moon Knight, he's basically like a super soldier guy who, well, not a super soldier, but he's a Deadpool-ish kind of assassin. He's real good at fighting, that kind of thing.
Moon Knight, I think, was the character that had all of the personalities built into him, and one of those personalities was taken over by Moon Knight.
Yeah, he was like a soldier who was left for dead in Egypt, and his life was saved by this ancient Egyptian god named Khonshu, who is like living in his head.
Yeah,
and gives him like multiple personality disorders. So what it looks like is the in the show, the version of what's his name? What's the guy? Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac. The version of him we're getting in the show is actually not like the main identity.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Mark, I think Mark Shepard or something like that. That was the soldier who ended up like becoming Moon Knight. It seems like he's starting off as one of his other identities and has to discover who he was and how he became what he is. But it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
No, it definitely does. It kind of looks like he's going to be like that's what I like about it. They're starting with the only one of his personalities that don't know the other ones exist.
Yeah.
So we get to start in that same path as him. So it looks like it's going to be really dramatic. It looks like it's going to be powerful stuff. Yeah. Which is no surprise with Oscar Isaac.
And Oscar Isaac, this is his third foray into Marvel.
Oh, yeah?
Because Oscar Isaac was, of course, Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse. And he's the voice of Spider-Man 2099 in Into the Spider-Verse, or the new Spider-Verse movies.
Oh, man, he's just everywhere.
He has 3 Marvel characters now.
He's also so well-ranged. He plays so many different character types. He's got so many different good accents.
I'll take Oscar Isaac in whatever. Yeah, he's great. He's good. He's always great.
So, enough on Moon Knight. What are we going to talk about next? Let's talk about...
Oh, well, Morbius. And more BS.
Yeah, more BS.
More BS. Morbius got delayed,
again,
as it is wont to do. It keeps on getting delayed. Why not do it some more? I mean,
we've been watching the trailer for Morbius for like 3 years now.
Yeah, Morbius.
We really know what it's potentially going to be.
But the question is, why was it delayed? There's a lot of people. So obviously, we're having an Omicron spike. You know, that's still going.
That's not stopping other movies from releasing.
It's not stopping, and it's also not stopping Disney. Uncharted, which is another Sony movie that comes out around the same time that Morbius was supposed to come out. So, if they're so concerned about not getting people in the theaters for that, why didn't they move that one too? I think they're scrambling to probably put Andrew Garfield in the movie.
Maybe
they know I'm sure that, Sony is on Twitter and they've seen that's the only thing that anyone wants out of the Morbius movie.
That's anything anyone wants from Sony, really.
Yeah, if
right
they
now.
come out with that Morbius movie and it doesn't tie in with the Amazing Spider-Man universe, everyone's just going to realize that the only good Spider-Man stuff is coming from Marvel. And I really want to see a bunch of different Spider-Verses survive. I want to see, Tom Holland in the MCU fighting alongside Daredevil, fighting Kingpin even.
For sure.
I want to see that, but at the same time, we could get the whole clone saga with Andrew Garfield. Give us a Ben Reilly Andrew Garfield, so then we don't just get one Andrew Garfield back, we get two of them. We could have two Andrew Garfields. He could be fighting, he could get his own symbiote. We could do everything. Do it all.
What's better than one Andrew Garfield?
And, in a recent... That's true. But in a recent interview, too, Tobey Maguire said that this was not a closing the door, or like end of the chapter kind of thing.
Yeah, it was more like a reopening.
So we're going to get more Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, probably in Doctor Strange.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know how I feel about that. I love Tobey Maguire. I love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but like I said, I think they just need to go. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting with the grown-up Spider-Man.
I don't know.
I expected more damage for a grown-up Spider-Man. You know
I want to
mean?
see what his life is like.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I think that would be fun. And also,
I think they should cut to his life and it should be like cheesy, no action at all. He's just like a high school teacher and like it's about the drama at high school.
He's just done being Spider. Maybe. Well, we don't know. He's sort of still with Mary Jane, it sounds like. But I think Tobey Maguire would be the perfect father figure for a Miles Morales.
Oh man, I'm still, I'm in it for a Miles Morales Spider-Man. I think
that would be a lot of fun. And there's room. I mean, sure, they could introduce him along with Tom Holland, but I think they'd seem like the same age.
A Dallas Bryce movie about Miles Morales.
Oh, Dallas Bryce Howard directing. Yeah, sure.
She deserves it. We all saw the last episode of Boba Fett. We know she deserves it.
Oh, yeah. But we're not there yet. We'll get to Star Wars here momentarily.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah.
Still at Marvel.
So, Morbius, maybe they'll put Andrew Garfield in it and then people will care. Or they won't.
I thought it looked cool all on its own. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the whole let's release a trailer way before the movie comes out because, you missed that ride. Now all of a sudden there's less interest.
This one, to be fair, I think Morbius was mostly delayed by the pandemic.
Yeah.
So that one...
Wait, hold on, though. I feel like we've been watching trailers for Morbius since before the pandemic was
That's
around.
what I mean. They canceled it. They didn't release it because of the pandemic.
Yeah, but look how many things they've re-released. Like, there's something going on that we don't know about yet.
No, Morbius has been postponed. They just keep pushing it back every time. So I think it's like 7 or 8 times. I haven't done the math and looked up all of them, but it's been postponed a lot. I don't know why, but I think for this one, they got... I really think they didn't. They didn't know what the demand was going to be for Andrew Garfield.
That would make sense.
And after the movie, after No Way Home, they realized that's all anybody wants.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck, we got to fix it. And I think that's what is happening right now.
It's the only thing that really makes sense. So do we have anything else on the Marvel front?
Just some rumors that when Daredevil returns, he's rumored to come back in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He's supposed to show up in Echo. He's supposed to show up in She-Hulk as another lawyer. And I think there were rumors he's going to show up in Moon Knight as well. But the rumors are he's going to have his classic yellow and red suit.
Yeah.
Maybe they can make it cool.
Sure.
I don't
his
buy
suit
it.
Was awesome.
It was, but if these are the same...
Yeah, now they got to Marvelify his outfit.
Yeah. If it's the same guys, I mean, if they're not variants from the show, I tend to think they're the same. Until we find out that the Netflix Marvel shows don't exist in the MCU, I'm just going to assume they do.
Yeah.
All 3 of those seasons happened. Vincent D'Onofrio said, yes, this is the same guy.
Well, and there's also all that rumor that the Punisher, the Netflix Punisher series is actually
John Barenthal's going to come in.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk even on Twitter about Deborah Ann Wall, Karen Page.
Yeah.
A lot of people really liked her character.
Oh, she was
great. And she worked great in The Punisher. And she would be a nice addition even to the Daredevil Spider-Man kind of universe since they killed off Ben Urich. I would love to see all those guys come back. I want to see Iron Fist working with Shang-Chi. That would be the most impressive, you know? It's
I
easy
think Iron
to take...
Fist is my least favorite of all of those. But I guess if all of the other ones are canon, then that makes Iron Fist also.
But that's the real test of quality, though, isn't it? It's not hard to take the Netflix Daredevil and bring him in. It's something that was already good.
Yeah, yeah.
Can Marvel take Iron Fist, which was not that great
and
not very well received? Can you resuscitate that property and make it into something? It would work real well with Shang-Chi.
I mean, if they're bringing in Iron Fist, then all I'm saying is they better bring back Luke Cage.
Yeah. I think Luke Cage will be back.
It, man.
He definitely.
I don't remember that character actor's name, but he's great in that role.
Mike Colton.
Yeah, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I thought he played the role great. The show was great. Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't get more seasons.
Well, that's the other. The villain in the Luke Cage series, Copperhead.
Yeah.
That was Mahershala Ali. He's now gonna be Blade. He's the new Blade. So he'll technically have been two people. We'll see. We'll see how any of that works in.
About soon, huh?
The Midnight Suns. There's lots of rumors about that, which would be like Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Blade, and Morbius. So what universe is it? Morbius? It's a can of worms.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We'll know soon enough. We'll know soon enough. But at this point, it's all conjecture.
Yeah, unsolicited. The unsolicited kind. The only thing is Kingpin. What we'll find out, I guess. Where are we going to get blind Kingpin?
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome.
Because that's what
happened. Yeah.
I think some point after the snap, or after coming back, or maybe he didn't get snapped. But I think Kingpin got his hands on some of that super soldier serum.
Yeah, because he was real strong compared to first season.
Yeah, that we never really got to talk about the finale of Hawkeye, but
yeah,
he took a car hit and an explosion to the face and an arrow to the chest, all like right in a row.
And then they end it with like, you're dying by one bullet shot.
Yeah, and he's definitely not dead.
Yeah,
of course.
I don't blame it.
I think in the comics he goes blind and then eventually gets like an eye transplant. I don't know if he'll be fully blind or if he'll just be temporarily blinded. You know, as the super soldier. I think it would be cool to bring him back blind,
especially when they're bringing back Daredevil.
I want to see him fight. Spider-Man so bad. Kingpin and Spider-Man, you know, it's a classic situation.
Is that it for Marvel?
That's it for Marvel. And you know what? Now, what's Star Wars?
For those of you out there watching, resist the cause. Thank you, Josh. This is an awesome gift from Disney World.
Yeah. If anybody's looking, the little stands outside of Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
You can get these cool metal drinking jugs.
Yeah, because I'm not selling you mine. That thing's hanging in my truck somewhere.
For all
awesome.
Your blue milks. Also, like the Dasani bottles and the Coke bottles are all written in the Star Wars language.
I did see some pictures of those.
Those are pretty fun. The whole place is just a good time.
Man, I know. I want to see it. I haven't been over there in a long time.
We'll have to get down there. Have to try to... Maybe we'll record live, do a show from Galaxy's Edge.
So join our Patreon where you can give us money to go to Disney World that actually doesn't exist yet.
We don't have one.
We might make one. You don't know.
Oh, we'll make one. If there's ways that we can try to convince people to pay us for this, we will exploit them.
That's very accurate. Yes. So, as I just said, Boba Fett and the music, man. Let's talk about... Well, we'll just talk about Boba Fett generally speaking, because the last episode was very incredible, even though I'm convinced it was actually an episode of The Mandalorian and not an episode of Boba Fett.
It was.
But the music is so fire.
Yeah,
man.
Ludwig Göransson, same guy who does the music for Mando, stepping up, doing the themes and everything for Boba. It's been great. Dude. It's been great. I really have loved this show. This last episode was incredible. Getting to catch up with Mando a lot. There's been some haters for this series saying like, "Oh, I thought Boba Fett should wear his helmet more, and he should not have friends, and he should betray people."
Yeah, he's not allowed to grow as a character.
Yeah, because it's kind of dumb. I think what this 5th episode of Mando or Boba taught us is that Mando wouldn't exist if it weren't for Boba Fett. If you're complaining that you're not getting the Boba Fett, all the cool stuff, that's because all that stuff was put into Mando. The not taking off the helmet, the awesome weapons, the bounty hunter-ness, the mystique, the gunslinger aspects. That's what Mando is.
Yeah, they took all the things that people thought Boba Fett was and just made the real character the Mandalorian.
Yes, and they've taken Boba Fett and like from the very beginning, seeing his flashbacks and his time at Camino, holding his father's helmet, seeing his face and his father's face, which is the same face.
Yeah.
It was very clear he realized that if he pursued the same lifestyle as his father, he was going to die. Yep. And he almost died. He had a near-death experience and said, you know what? I want the cushy job. I want to take Jabba's job. Yeah. I want to be in charge.
Jabba's Jabba?
I don't want to... Well, there you go. Yeah, it's fun. It's been really good. I'd like to see... You can't have two of the same guy. You can't have 60-year-old Tamora Morrison being the same guy that Mando is. What fun would that be? Do you really want all of your shows to just be like the same thing? Like, we're seeing development and character growth in Boba Fett.
They don't want character. Who wants character growth, man? That's my favorite part about Boba Fett, honestly.
Yeah.
Is how he's like, all of a sudden, he's all like, family. That's what I'm looking for. They destroyed my family.
Yeah, because he finally had one, because he's a clone.
Yeah.
He's a clone that was raised by his donor as a son, and he had sort of a position of prominence above all the other clones.
But a clone nonetheless.
But he's still a clone.
Yes.
And he lost his dad. He lost Asajj Ventress and Bosk, all the other bounty hunters who, he shows up in Clone Wars a couple times as a kid. He's still out there running around somewhere in Bad Batch, and now we know he's, the brother of Omega. So maybe we'll see Omega show up in Boba Fett. I don't know. Or maybe they're saving that for season 2 of Bad Batch. There's lots of questions still, but it's cool to see Boba Fett get a family and try to be something more and realize, like, the line in the 3rd or 4th episode where he said, you can only get so far on your own without a tribe. We get to see Boba put together his tribe, and I think it's going to be awesome. My one criticism, I think the story should have just been told sequentially. I don't necessarily think the flashbacks thing. Yeah, you get half an episode in the present and half in the past. It's kind of cool, but we went 4 episodes without really having, any of Boba Fett's desires or what's his motivation? What's he doing? Yeah, why is this happening?
Yeah,
you don't really get that.
It was very slow moving.
They hinted at it with little things like he wants to move on from bounty hunting.
Yeah,
but
it's slow moving for that reason. They're trying to show you this character development, him growing as a character. They're setting you up basically for saying like this is not who you think Boba Fett is.
Yeah, the Mandalorian is who you think Boba Fett is. This is a new thing. And I love it. I think it's been great.
I love the character, the Fennec Shand.
Fennec Shand is badass.
Dude, she is. She was in the Marvel show also. What was the one? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wen? Yeah.
Yeah. She's been in a bunch of stuff recently.
Yeah, and she was on Bad Batch too.
Oh yeah?
She shows up in Bad Batch, hunting Omega. So there's backstory here. But Black Chrysanthemum is great. I can't wait to see what happens with him in Boba next week. We get another
killer.
He's awesome. There are a lot of people.
I'll basically pay you to not rip his arm off. I'm gonna rip this guy's arm off.
Drop the coins.
The money.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of that episode. I think honestly,
it's been really fun seeing him. I love seeing a BD droid. Hanging out. I was so excited to see a BD droid.
I love all the hilarious memes about the mechanic chick screwing Jawas.
Yeah.
Those are all hilarious. They make me laugh all day. So if you want to just comment any of those down below, I would love to look at them.
They're very hairy.
Yeah.
And we got an N1 Starfighter. We got the replacement, an N1 Starfighter. Just like the same ship that young Anakin flew in The Phantom Menace. I don't know how one of them got to Tatooine. I don't think anybody flew one to Tatooine.
It just ended up there. Yeah. She had it. When I was young, when the Phantom Menace first came out, that was actually the toy that I bought and I loved the most. I had this hardcore die-cast metal model of that ship in particular.
It's a sleek-looking little ship.
This thing weighed like 20 pounds. It was hardcore. It was not a toy by any means. It was like a toy you put on the shelf and look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just love the design of those. When they first popped it out, for a second, I thought it was like a pod racer she was about to show.
I wasn't sure.
I'm like, is she about to show him some pod racer?
It was pretty
and
disassembled.
Then as soon as it opened up, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. No, it's a cool ship. That's gonna be fun. Who knows? Maybe we'll see one of them.
I like the steering mechanism of it too. The double rotary joystick kind of thing going on. The grips.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And the way he just bolted out, man. Like I said, I love everything about the ship from this last episode. Totally cool. This last episode of The Mandalorian was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people, we've been complaining about Boba Fett, and then they bring out this episode. It's the best one so far, and Boba Fett's not in it.
Yeah,
it doesn't exactly help their cause. Like I said, I think it's all been great. I've had a lot of fun.
I agree. I think the backstory, this storyline has been good.
But what's interesting is this last episode. It seems like it's less important for the Boba Fett series. But it's absolutely going to be essential for Mandalorian season 3.
Exactly.
But here, who is watching Boba Fett that didn't watch Mandalorian?
No one. Exactly.
Boba Fett is a spin-off, technically, of Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's why they threw it in there
first. This is all the same show. They just changing the name of the show, but it's all the same show. Yeah. When we get Ahsoka, when we're watching Obi-Wan, it's all going to be the same show because it's all Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau doing it. It's all the same show.
So speaking of Ahsoka. Yeah. Wasn't there some new casting announced recently?
Yeah. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the daughter of John McClane from Die Hard 4. The one with Justin Long.
Oh yeah, that one. That was so fantastic.
Yeah. That's the one where he jumps a motorcycle into a helicopter.
Smart move.
That's what you do. But yeah, so she has joined the Ahsoka series.
Who knows?
But also, I guess she's married to Obi-Wan. To, what's his name? Obi-Wan.
Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
In real life?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like maybe in the series they were married and that's how they were collating. But no, they're married
She's
in real
married.
life.
Yeah, she's married in real life. So what does that mean? We don't know.
It means that's how she got her role.
Maybe.
Right?
They do love keeping it in the family to an extent at Disney.
True that.
Because Ezra Bridger from Rebels, he's cast as Aladdin. The live action Aladdin. I forget his name.
Is it
but
just
he's
going to
be Ezra.
How do you feel about these live action remakes they've been doing? I know this is really off topic, but I personally have not enjoyed a single live action remake of these films from when we were younger.
I haven't. Yeah.
I don't understand. And I haven't talked to anyone who's been like, killer remake. I'm so glad they did that. Yeah. I don't understand why they're still doing them.
No, I don't know. Well, did you see the Snow White news?
I saw. I knew that they were making a Snow White. I don't know what the Snow White news in particular is.
Hold on, let me see something.
Uh-oh. Research. Database.
Peter Dinklage was on.
Oh, that's right.
He was
that's
on.
what it was.
I think it was Mark Maron's podcast.
Yeah, he was on a podcast.
I think it might have been WTF, but they asked him about the topic of this live action reboot of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs came up. To which he responded, "I guess I haven't been making enough noise. Like, how are you still thinking this is a good idea?"
Yeah,
he was pretty surprised that they were doing it, and just thought it was ironic that they cast a Hispanic actress as Snow White, which I guess they're thinking is progressive, but at the same time they're telling a story about like 7 dwarfs who live together.
Yeah. 7 rejects because of their size in society.
See, and I don't know.
Knowing them, they probably didn't even actually cast dwarves for those roles. They're probably just CG'd in.
But are they people or are they like magical creatures? I always assumed they were like the magical creature type dwarves, not like individuals with achondroplastic dwarfism. Like
no, correct.
Congenital like osteological like Lord of the conditions. Rings. That's the thing. I don't understand what the rules are. Because on one hand, I totally understand what he's saying. Peter Dinklage is a little person who has probably had Snow White references thrown at him his whole life.
Yeah.
So that stuff affects those people. But like,
just think about his role in Elf, that one scene with him.
Yeah, this is literally
that's probably
what
he gets all day, every day, and it drives him nuts.
So I get it. He doesn't want dwarfs, but what's the rules on hobbits then?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. And is anyone small off limits? I don't know what the rules are. I don't know. It's not for me to decide.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. But you don't want stuff that's gonna, affect people negatively. I understand why they stopped doing Apu on The Simpsons.
No,
because
for sure.
All Indian people probably got tired of the "Thank you, come again."
I'm sure, man.
And obviously, that's why you stop doing that stuff, because you don't want it affecting people's lives. But when fantasy dwarfs, what about the Dwemer in Skyrim, and then is it anyone small? I don't know. This is why I also had, was confused by some of the cries of racism towards like Dungeons and Dragons, like when the Dark Elf episode that was.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ben Chang from what's his name? Ken Jeong. Ken Jeong in Community.
Okay. Yeah.
One of those episodes was cut for blackface because he was dressed as a dark elf from D&D. And they have the stark black face and the white wigs, the white hair. He was dressed like that. So they took it down because it could be interpreted as blackface.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But he was like dressed as a fantasy creature, which I know that they said the fantasy creatures were like evil. So that's not good. You don't want to say any species is inherently bad.
Yeah.
But the thing that always confused me is that doesn't represent black people.
Yeah, it represents an elf, a dark elf that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that like lives in a cave for its whole life. Yeah. It's not like there's the black humans would represent. They're in D&D too, as well. Like you can just. So I don't know. I don't know what those rules are, but
No, I see what you mean.
You have to deal with that stuff when you're a corporation.
Line. But the real question is, who is even asking for this Snow White live remake?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. I want a Snow White remake by Guillermo del Toro.
Well, it'd probably be creepy.
White I want.
Yeah.
That might be on his bucket list. It could be what's coming.
Maybe. That's the other. Oh, yeah.
Do we have any more Star Wars news?
Well, we talked about Ahsoka. The last thing is that there's some rumors that the Obi-Wan series might be dropping on May the 4th.
Because May the 4th be with you. And also with you.
And may Obi-Wan be with us on the 4th.
I hope so.
But what that also means is that we'll probably be getting a double episode of Moon Knight, because Moon Knight is supposed to drop on, I think, March 30th.
I hope that double intro. That's what I want.
So we'll probably get 2 episodes up front, 4 weeks into May the 4th, and then the Obi-Wan series. And then after that, we got Bad Batch coming, and then She-Hulk, I think. There's lots of fun stuff coming up on
Lots
Disney
of fun
Plus.
stuff. Disney all the way.
Apparently. Oh, yeah.
They're going to get more of our money.
But, yeah, let's talk about Guillermo del Toro.
For sure. All right, so here we are talking Del Toro news. And the first thing I think we should talk about, since it was recent, is Nightmare Alley. Because I went and saw this movie and it was a total sleeper. To be honest, I didn't even know what it was about. I saw that it was only playing at the Alamo. Shout out to the Alamo once again. It was only playing there for like 2 more days. And I saw it was a Guillermo del Toro movie and I knew absolutely nothing about it. So I was like, all right, let's go see it. Called up one of my buddies who had nothing to do. He was like, why not? We went and saw it. Like I said, total sleeper, amazing film. I mean, it goes without saying, since it is Guillermo del Toro, that it's amazing. But it truly was a great film. Oh, it was very slow in the beginning, but being a Toro film, it was beautiful during all of those slow times.
He knows storytelling, and you always get a good, well-rounded, well thought out story.
For sure. What's nice about him that I've noticed over time is, like, not only is he good at storytelling, he's good at something that a lot of filmmakers aren't, and it's like storytelling with light. He's very good at directing attention and emotion in scene with light in a way that I find that most other movies just don't seem to capture as well these days.
He's great with tension too.
For sure.
He's great with maintaining levels of uncertainty and tension and really keeping the audience kind of off balance when he wants them to be.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal director. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen this. I saw the trailer and it looked pretty incredible.
It was incredible. And I'm actually debating to go and see it again because, he originally wanted to make this movie as a noir film. He started working on it in the late 90s from what I read. But this was kind of one of his dream or passion projects he's always wanted to work on. He always wanted to release it noir. But they released it color. But now I just saw that it is playing at the Alamo in noir. So it's all black and white.
Black.
So
yeah,
it was
awesome.
re-released the way he wanted to release it, which is really cool. And I feel like I definitely need to go support that since he did it that way.
Just like him and Zack Snyder. Justice is gray.
But
watch the Snyder cut without, because with the Zack Snyder movies, everything's like the saturation's at like 20%.
Yep.
Well, this one's at 0.
Uh-huh. That's right.
You
it's
don't
like
get
Joel
any color
Grimes
at
photography, all muted.
Yeah, no color at all. It's all black and white.
But this movie, man, I've been a fan of Bradley Cooper for a while. He's obviously a great actor, but he
and a great raccoon.
That's true. He is a feisty raccoon.
He is.
But he pulls it, especially the last scene of the movie. I can't think of another actor that could honestly do that.
Yeah.
And I can't say the last scene of the movie because it gives everything away. But the last scene of the movie will truly show you how great Bradley Cooper really is at portraying emotion that is not his own on film. Blew it out.
I can't wait
to
see it. It had some sort of Lovecrafty vibes.
Yeah,
from
it's
the trailer.
really cool.
But that's because Del Toro, he's a huge Lovecraft fan.
Yeah.
So you always get elements of that, like Hellboy. There's so much Lovecraft in Hellboy. And obviously that's, from source material, but just the way that they incorporate it is so good. Del Toro, he was just on the Movies That Made Me podcast, and they were talking to him about Pinocchio. That's his new upcoming movie.
I think so creepy.
It's going to be the weirdest Pinocchio you've ever seen.
I can't wait.
That's coming out, I believe, in December, like end of the year. But he said that once he wraps on Pinocchio, he's getting to work on like a bucket list horror property. And he didn't say what it is, but that's really exciting because, he said, I know in interviews before, that he's a big fan of both Frankenstein and the Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is already sort of done twice with Abe Sapien and the water one, Shape of Water.
Yeah, Shape of Water.
So maybe he's going to do the actual Creature from the Black Lagoon remake.
I know, they both look so very similar.
Or maybe he was doing the Mountains of Madness before that was in production back when I think it was canceled because of the poor performance of Prometheus, which had sort of similar,
Prometheus I liked. It was good.
Origins of human life themes. There's a lot of
it was pretty cool.
Comes from Mountains of Madness.
We all know you want Guillermo del Toro as much as possible.
Oh, sure. I want him to make the movies that he really wants to make because they're going to be the ones that turn out the best.
No, for sure.
Also, I saw on Instagram that Ron Perlman has been saying that he's 71 now, and he says he does not like the idea of making a Hellboy 3 at this point at 71, but he thinks the fans deserve it. So
I'd watch
Ron Perlman is willing to come back to Hellboy, and apparently he's been talking to Guillermo del Toro about it like every week.
What if that's going to be his passion project?
Maybe it is. Maybe it's going to be Hellboy 3, the conclusion to the first two movies.
Man.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a different Lovecraft thing. It could be a universal monster thing. We don't know.
Like a Pan's Labyrinth kind of thing. That was all him, I think.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows what it's going to be, but it could be good.
Man.
Probably will be good.
I just thought about Pan's Labyrinth. It's been a long time since I saw that incredible movie.
That is a good movie. All his stuff is great. But also, while we're talking about monsters, the Monsterverse, the King Kong Godzilla Monsterverse.
I don't know anything about this.
King Kong and Godzilla.
I mean, I know who they are.
They're friends now.
They're friends and lovers.
I don't know about that. But they're friends.
That's what the song says.
I don't think that'll be in it. But there's Apple TV is doing a Monsterverse series. So the Kong versus Godzilla and the Kong Skull Island, all the Monarch stuff, they're continuing that in a show.
Yay!
So Godzilla will be coming to the small screen. Probably not for the first time. I'm sure they did a Godzilla show.
Don't watch that. Just watch Silent Sea. It's better. Netflix. I know you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet, but also I don't have Apple Plus.
Well, you got Netflix.
Plus? Yeah, but it's going to be on Apple Plus. So Godzilla and King Kong show, Monsterverse show, continuing on Apple Plus.
Speaking of monsters, because this is totally not related at all, because there are no monsters, but you should watch Yellow Jackets. I know you haven't got a chance to watch it yet.
I have not.
In my opinion, the best show I've watched all year, without a doubt, especially if you grew up in the 90s. So much retro throwback, so many songs that you thought you would never hear again that they just pulled out of nowhere. It's very good storytelling, a very good, especially storytelling with so many flashbacks. That's so hard to pull off well, as many fans are saying about Boba Fett right now. It's hard to pull off a series with multiple episodes and multiple long style flashbacks, but the way they do it is really, really well because of the timeline difference. So like I said, Yellow Jackets, if you're not watching that, highly recommend watch that as well.
Oh yeah. Hey, I have no problem with, non-linear storytelling. It can work very well in certain situations. And even with Boba Fett, I don't hate it. I don't hate the flashbacks. I think that they could have, it might have felt a little, less draggy. Yeah.
It was weird.
But also, The Mandalorian is like a fully, it's not serialized.
Yeah, well, right? It's just weird because they put flashbacks where they don't need to.
Yeah, I just serialization, to have a show like Boba where literally every chapter is just the next chapter of the story.
Yeah.
And it's not its own self-contained story. Like every episode of Mando, there's a beginning, middle, and end. Boba Fett has not been like that.
Yeah.
So it's until you have the whole thing. In 2 more weeks,
we'll know everything.
It might be the best series ever, because we'll know what all of this is building to. But there's a lot of the things, like you hear people complaining after the first episode, like, oh, Boba's gone soft. And then you hear Fennec Shand in the show say, you've gone soft. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to feel that. Yeah. It's just the show working.
Yeah, it's telling the story exactly like it's supposed to.
When people complain and say, no, they killed off the Tusken Raiders too soon. It's like, no, you're feeling lost.
Yeah.
Because they died.
Exactly.
He wanted them to still be alive too.
Yeah. Did you really want a whole series of just Boba Fett in the desert training with Tusken Raiders?
Yeah. I mean, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
But no.
You're already complaining that you got too much of that.
What you're experiencing is the story. You're feeling what the characters are feeling. Yeah. That's
You're
empathy.
Feeling lost and sad about the situation. I wonder if maybe the people creating this wanted you to feel those things.
Yeah. I was like the Anakin apologists who have come out and like, no, this makes him look way worse for slaughtering all those Tuskens in episode 2. Like, yeah. That was his fall to the dark side. That was terrible.
Now
that's the point.
You're getting it. There's a lot of things you didn't get when you were a kid and watched these things, but now you're getting it.
You're supposed to think that. Yeah, it was always bad, but now you had to become friends with them first, and now you understand. So yeah.
All right, man. It was good being here again, man.
Yeah,
it was good doing this again. It was good seeing you again over there. If you don't follow us right now, you can hit us up on just about every podcast platform. Obviously, you can watch us here on YouTube, or you can follow the links down below for our Twitter page that is completely active.
Yeah, it exists.
We post there all the time.
But soon we'll have social media, because that's what you want, right? Something else to follow.
Do you want to know more about us?
Probably not. But we're gonna put stuff up.
That's right. So I guess that's it.
Eventually we'll do things. And you know what? This is only what the show is right now. Maybe you'll come back next week and we'll do something totally different.
That's true. If you haven't noticed, we are just kind of figuring this out as we go along. This is brand new. I mean, you've been here. There's like 4 episodes. We're doing this.
We're just making stuff, and it's going to become whatever it becomes, and we're not going to impede that process. We're going to evolve.
Sure.
And change.
You want a Superman fly out of here?
Oh, Superman.
Let's do it.